Well, good morning. Welcome back to windy South Dakota. We're working on a little bit of fence this morning. So we're north of the railroad tracks here. We're working on replacing this fence on the north side of the railroad tracks. We did the other half of this fence last fall, end of summer. So now we're working on tearing out this other half, and we'll get this new half put in here. This fence has never been real great, so it'd be nice to get a new fence in here, and then maybe we could eventually end up putting some cattle up here or something. But for now, we're just worried about getting this fence back up. So we're rolling up wire, and then we've got the post puller. And then we'll throw that on the Bobcat and pull out all these old posts, and then we can start fresh. Okay, so we finished this half of what we're redoing on this side of the draw. There's a draw up here, so we finished this side. So we're gonna go across to the other side, roll those wires up, and then we'll pull all these posts. Then I think we'll probably come back up here sometime with the forks on the Bobcat and go along and throw the posts on the forks, because we got a whole bunch of wire on the back of this right now.
get it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was that little pressure on it or something. This, I hooked this up to it earlier and it worked.
Okay, so we got all the wire unrolled. I'm gonna go along now and pull out all the posts. And that, I think on this stretch, this half, the bottom wire was buried in the ground just because it's been here so long. So we'll have to pull these posts to find that bottom wire, and then I think we're just gonna end up rolling it by hand, which is no big deal. It's after lunch now. Got the, as you guys saw, I pulled all them posts before lunch. So now I'm going to put the forks on, head up there, and then we're gonna pick up all them posts, put them on the forks and haul them back, because we're going to put in all new posts up there, and we'll use them posts somewhere else. So the car trailer is finished for now. We just got to get new lights for it, and then we can pop them in anytime. So I'm gonna pull this out and then I'm going to grab our next project, get it in the shop, because the wind is supposed to blow like 50 miles an hour tomorrow, and I don't want to be opening the shop door and stuff and dealing with that. So I'm going to get the next project in tonight, and then we can just work on it tomorrow and have something to work on while the wind's blowing. All right, here it is, our next project. So it's just an old trailer that we've had laying around for a while. But I think what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna cut both axles. We're gonna slide this one back. And we're gonna slide this one forward both ways as much as we can, since it's a pretty short trailer. So that we're gonna put a water tank right in the middle of it. Right in the middle of those axles, so we can have a portable water tank. And we want to move them axles like that so that the trailer will stay level on its own, and we don't have to have something hooked up to it, or we don't have to have a jack on the front of it then. And then having those axles like that should make it a little bit easier to pull through the field, have weight distributed a little bit better, all those good things. So that's what we're going to be working on. Like I said, the wind's going to blow like 50 miles an hour tomorrow, so it'll be a good day to be in here welding and stuff like that. So I'll pick you guys up tomorrow. Good morning. We're dealing with some wind this morning. So right away this morning, pretty early, before the wind got too bad, Dad came outside, did chores. He fed all the ground hay because we wanted to get all that into the bunks before the wind really come up, and you know, then it made it a little more difficult. So he got all that fed, and so now I'm going to take the Bobcat and I'm gonna go feed the calves those 2 round bales. He didn't do that right away because those don't blow away quite as bad. So yeah, I'm gonna go fight the wind and see if I can't get those bales fed to them calves. decided that, you know, usually we roll these bales completely out and the calves just kind of graze on it all day long. But today, since the wind's blowing so bad, we just decided we still rolled out the 2 bales that we had been giving them, but we just decided to roll out enough from each bale that all of the calves could get in there and eat on the loose stuff that unrolled from the bale, and then leave the rest whole, and then they'll just eat it as if it was like the cow's bale grazing or something. So I also decided to roll these bales out pretty close to the pen here, because that'll kind of entice them to get behind this little windbreak here, and then they can also go in their pen and get behind that windbreak. It's not cold, the wind's just blowing, so I highly doubt, you know, it's probably not, this wind probably not going to hinder them from being out here today. They'll probably still hang out here in the pasture. Biggest concern was just the hay not blowing away. So I was going to show you guys this here. High wind warning with winds 35 to 45 and gusts up to 70 miles an hour until 9 a.m. tomorrow. That is crazy. That's some intense winds. So that's why we're working in the shop today. So this trailer, I'm not quite sure where to start on it. I'm thinking about jacking it up and getting it on jack stands and getting like the trailer level so that I know the trailer will stay level, so then I can kind of measure the heights of the axles to make sure when I move them they're all at the same heights as what they were. And getting the tires off, I think I'll probably need to take the tires off so I can just work on it easier, work around the axles easier. So I think we'll probably start with that. I'll try to find some jack stands. Hopefully we have like 4 of them. I don't know, I think we do, but so we've got it up on jack stands, so I can kind of show you guys a little better here what we're dealing with. So we've got to, we want to keep the leaf springs, and we're gonna have to move this axle back and this axle forward, and in order to keep the leaf springs, so they're all connected together here in the middle, both leaf springs are, so when we move them back they'll be independent from one another, so we'll have to make different brackets for each front one, because this will no longer be here. They'll be too far apart to connect them together like this. So when we move them back and forward, we'll have to create new brackets or figure something out to do that. But I think we're just going to start kind of tearing it apart here and see if we can't piece it together. Okay, so we're going to use this, which is this piece right here that is holding the spring to this middle piece. So we're going to use this. And we can't get the other one off because we can't get this bolt out of here. So we're going to use one of these on one side and weld it to the frame for the leaf spring to go to. Then we're just going to make another one. We've got some flat steel here. We're just going to make another one out of to put on the inside. And that's our plan. So we're going to work on getting this back axle kind of where it needs to be, get these welded on, so then maybe we can bolt the back of it, then kind of pivot it up and figure out where the front one's got to be and weld it on as well. Okay, so it's many hours later, but we got one axle up, mounted on this side, and mounted on this side. So the back axle is moved back and mounted up, so it's good to go. Just got to tighten them bolts. And now next step would be moving that front axle forward. So yeah. So we're back working on the trailer this morning. So we got this front axle completely loose, or maybe we did last night, I can't remember. But I'm starting to work on making the brackets so that we can get it mounted up and in place. Cole's working on some other stuff over there, getting some of these old metal, getting these out of there. But the bolts are all rusted in and seized in, so he's having fun fighting with that. And it's a little chilly this morning. It's not, the wind's not blowing today, so that's good. Well, I mean, it's blowing, but it's not blowing 60. Yesterday it was blowing 60.
About 40.
No, it's blowing 20 to 30. At least it's not 60 anyway. Okay guys, I'm gonna show you what I got today. Yep, a little baby lamb just this afternoon, so he's only an hour old probably or so. We're working on trying to get him to suck, making sure he can find that and get something to eat. But yeah, quite the deal. This is history right here. This is the first lamb that I have ever, first ewe I've ever lambed out, first lamb ever born on this place while we've owned it in the 3 generations that we've owned it. So this is quite the deal here. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video off here because I'm gonna spend the rest of the day watching this little thing and just checking it out, taking it all in. So, but thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, remember to hit that subscribe button and the like button. Those 2 things help us out a lot and they go a long way for us. Yeah, thank you guys. We really appreciate each and every single one of our subscribers, and we appreciate having a little conversation in the comments with you guys. And yeah, as always, we'll catch you in the next one.